Today, we're going to talk about an important topic. It's either are we hiding from God or hiding in God? So let's read from Psalm 32, verses 1 to 11. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man to whom the Lord does not impute iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. When I kept silent, my bones grew old, through my groanings all the day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My vitality was turned into the drought of summer. So here King David is saying, when I kept silent, when I had my sins covered from you, when I was hiding from you, I found that my bones grew old, and my vitality, my strength, became like the drought of summer. And he realized that this is not the way I have to live. I have to bring my transgressions before you, Lord. So that's what he says in verse 5. I acknowledged my sin to you, and my iniquity I have not hidden. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the iniquity of my sin. So King David says, I am going to bring my sins, my transgressions before you. When we find ourselves in a place where we feel like we can't come before God, where we feel unworthy, there might be sin, there might be guilt, there might be condemnation, where we feel like I can't go in front of God, what is our automatic reaction? We want to hide. We want to hide from God. That's just like Adam and Eve did in the garden. When they found themselves that they had done something wrong, they automatically wanted to hide from God. They didn't want to go to God and say, God, this is what I've done. But they said, we have to make a barrier between us and God because God cannot see this. But that is not the solution. Because King David found that when he was hiding from God, nothing was working. So he said, finally, I am going to bring my transgressions before you. I'm going to bring my sin before you. And it says in verse 7, you are my hiding place. You shall preserve me from trouble. You shall surround me with songs of deliverance. Finally, King David said, I will not hide from you, but I will hide in you. Because when I hide in you, you will deliver me with songs of deliverance. And what the Lord says back to King David in verse 9 is this. He says, do not be like the horse or like the mule, which have no understanding, which must be harnessed with bit and bridle, else they will not come near you. So God is telling us, the mule has no understanding. It has to be covered with blinders so that they will come towards. But we who have understanding, we do not need to be forced to come to God. We have understanding, so we know that we should not hide from God, but let us hide in God. So today's verse and today's teaching, I want to just tell you the importance that when you feel unworthy, when you feel that I have done something, that I have done something wrong, that I have guilt in me, that I have condemnation in me, the enemy tells us, hide. The enemy says, you're not worthy to go in front of God. You're not worthy to go in front of your maker. But we have to do the exact opposite. We have to hide in God. We have to say, this is the place I find deliverance. This is the place that God forgives me. This is the place that God forgives my transgressions and my iniquity. We should never listen to the voice of the enemy that tells us to hide. But we have to be like King David and hide in God. Because when we make the Lord our hiding place, then the songs of deliverance deliver us out of every iniquity. I hope this word has blessed you. If it has, like, comment, and share.